जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। Thank you very much once again, dear Rameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu, for kindly being present here in this 51st session of Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Upadeshamritam. I am very grateful to you for kindly hosting these sessions and for kindly having suggested originally that we should have such a series of talks on Sri Upadeshamritam. I am also very grateful to all the devotees who kindly join from various parts of the world. Although there may be so many things going on in your lives, so many difficulties, still many of you make it a point to join live, as well as many devotees are listening to the recordings. To each and every one of you, my sincere thanks, because without giving thanks to the kind Gaudiya Vaishnava audience, this series on Sri Upadeshamritam will not attain completion, will not attain success. Dear devotees, you are the most important part of the series of talks on Sri Upadeshamritam, because without all of you, it will not be possible for me to speak anything. Thank you so much, dear devotees, therefore, for kindly being a part of this journey. Wherever in the world you are listening from, my sincere thanks to all of you. Dear devotees, we are continuing our journey of discussion of Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Upadeshamritam, and currently we are on session number 51. So dear devotees, let's begin with Shanti Path, or a Vedic prayer for ensuring peace and auspiciousness for those who are listening as well as myself who is speaking. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sahana Bhavatu. May Bhagwan protect both of us, the teacher as well as the student. Sahano Bhunaktu. May he bestow the highest fruit of the study upon both of us. Sahaviryam Karavavahi. May both of us attain the strength to realize the highest truth. Tejasvi Navadhitamastu. May our study shine forth brilliantly. Ma Vidvishavahai. May we never envy each other. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May peace pervade the three worlds. Dear devotees, the syllable Om is made up of three sounds: A, U, Ma. And Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Akarena Uchyate Vishnu. The A represents Vishnu. Shri Rukarena Chochate. And U represents Shri, or his eternal energy. And Makara, the final Ma, is Jiva, the living entity, who is a servant of A and U, Vishnu and his energy. So the entire syllable represents Bhagwan, his Shaktis, and the Jiva, who is a servant of both of them, dear devotees. Now, we continue with an auspicious invocation to Sri Rupa Goswami. Shri Gaura Chitta Gambhiryam Veti Shri Rupa Evahi. Shri Rupa Chitta Gambhiryam Veti Shri Gaura Evahi. Only Sri Rupa Goswami knows the depths of the heart of Sri Gauranga. And only Sri Gauranga knows the depths of the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. Dear devotees, we are continuing our discussion on the 9th Upadesh, the 9th instruction. Vaikuntha janito varamadhupuri tatra pirasotsavat Vrindaranyamudar pani ramana tatrapi govardhana Radha kundamihapi gokulapate Premamrata plavanat kuryadasya virajato giritate sevam vivekinaka. Dear devotees, Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri. Due to being the birthplace of Krishna, Madhupuri Vara, Mathura Mandal is superior to Vaikuntha. We have discussed that in great detail. Tatrapi Rasotsavad Vrindaranyam. Even in Mathura Mandal, Vrindavan is superior. Why? Ras Utsavat, due to the occurrence of the Rasa Lila festival. Tatrapi udara pani ramanat, tatrapi Govardhana. And superior even to Vrindavan is Govardhan. Why? Udara pani ramanat, due to being the pleasure pastime ground of the liberal-handed Krishna. Dear devotees, this is the reason specified by Sri Rupa Goswami in our hierarchy that Vaikuntha is definitely great. Greater than Vaikuntha is Dwaraka. Greater than Dwaraka is Mathura. Greater than Mathura is Sri Vrindavan. And greater than Sri Vrindavan is Sri Govardhan. Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu, kindly read the highlighted portion.
Due to being the birthplace of Krishna, Mathura Mandala is superior to Vaikuntha. Even in Mathura Mandala, Vrindavan is superior due to the occurrence of the Rasa Lila festival. Superior even to Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, due to being the pleasure pastime ground of the liberal-handed Krishna. Even in Govardhan, Radha Kunda is superior due to being the bathing place filled with the nectarian Radha Prema that belongs to Sri Krishna. Which intelligent soul will not render service to this Radha Kunda, which resides on the foothills of Sri Govardhan?
Wonderful. So superior even to Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill due to being the pleasure pastime ground of Udara Pani, liberal-handed Sri Krishna. So Prabhu, when we studied this verse in the beginning with many commentaries, many of us may be remembering that the commentator Sri Radharaman Goswami had given two meanings why Govardhan is superior. And I am once again showing these two meanings in front of all of us so that we can recollect the two reasons. The two reasons he says, Udara Pane Shri Vrajaraj Kumarasya Ramanat Kridana Prachuryato. First reason is superior than Vrindavan is Sri Govardhan due to the love sports of the liberal-handed son of Nanda Maharaj. Liberal-handed means he very liberally gives his hands to the ladies of Sri Vrindavan. This is one reason. Yadva, another reason. Or else, Sri Krishna se udara pano. Why? Because on Sri Krishna's broad hand, Ramanat, Kridaya Dhrita Shri Govardhana. On his broad hand, he playfully lifted Shri Govardhan. These are the two reasons. Now the question arises, where did Sri Radharaman Goswami get these two understandings? Did he get it by his own intelligence? Or is the term Udara Pani significant? Is this term to be found somewhere else in the writings of the Acharyas? Is there another Acharya who has mentioned the same term in relation to Sri Govardhan? And the answer is yes. there is another Acharya of our Sampradaya, another Goswami who has mentioned the same term, udara pani, and that is Sri Radharaman Das Goswami in his Govardhanashraya Dashakam, 10 verses for taking shelter of Sri Govardhan. He has mentioned the same term, and I have highlighted it in front of all of us. Dear devotees, this verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam. This is the 7th verse of Govardhan Ashraya Dashakam. There are 10 verses. This is the 7th verse, dear devotees. I am singing the verse. Kindly note the highlighted term. Saptaham muramardana pranayato गोष्ठैकरक्षोत्सुको बिभ्रन्मानमुदारपाणिरमणैर् यस्मै सलीलं तदौ गान्धर्वाबुरभिद्विलासविगलत् काश्मीरराज्यद्गुहस् तत्खट्टायितरत्नसुन्दरशिलो गोवर्धनः पातु वाम्. सप्ताहम, Murabhid Muramardana Pranayato. So for 1 week, Saptaham, Muramardan, our Murari, Sri Krishna Murari. Pranayato, Goshthaika Rakshotsuko. He is very eager to protect the cowherd village of Vraja. Thus, Bibhran Manamudara Pani Ramanai, Yasman Salilam Dadav. Thus, he playfully held Govardhan and Bibhran Manam. He gave great respect to it. Udarapanu, this is the first meaning. Udarapanu, on his broad hand, he lifted Govardhan and gave great respect to it. Another reason. Gandharva Murabhid Vilasa Vigalat Kashmir Rajat Guhas. This 1/3 line is an adjective for Sri Govardhan. Let's try to understand what is the adjective mean. Guhas, it has caves. Rajat, which are decorated with Kashmir. Kashmir is the kumkum marks, the red vermilion marks. And how are these red vermilion marks created? Vigalat Vilasa, by the love sports of Gandharva and Murabhid, of Sri Radha and Murari. It is decorated, it has caves which are decorated with the marks of the love sports of Sri Radha and Krishna. Tat khattaita ratna sundara shilo. Khattaita, it has stone slabs that act as beds. And these stone slabs also have, various gems embedded in it. Shri Govardhana Patuvaha. May this Govardhan protect all of you. Actually, this is from Vraja Vilasa. I'm sorry, it's not from Govardhanashraya Dashakam. It's from Vraja Vilasa. It's the 51st verse where Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami uses the same term, Udara Pani Ramanair. Dear devotees, there are 2 reasons mentioned in this very verse. First reason is that through his Udara Pani, through his broad hand, he lifted Govardhan for 7 days and then protected the entire community of Sri Vraja. And the second reason is because the various love sports of Sri Radha and Krishna took place in the various caves of Sri Govardhana, and the caves are marked by those love sports. So both meanings that Sri Radharaman Goswami had specified in his commentary are actually confirmed by none other than Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami in his Vraja Vilasa Stava, the 51st verse. Dear devotee, this is a direct confirmation. We have a term which is matching in Upadeshamritam and in the Vraja Vilasa Stava. Hence confirmed that there are 2 reasons why Govardhan is superior to Sri Vraja. But I want to ask a question here. We have heard of the Rasa Lila taking place in Vrindavan. All of us have heard that the Sharadiya Rasa Lila, the autumn Rasa Lila, that is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, took place at a particular location named Vamsi. This Vamsi is in Sri Vrindavan. And there's a very nice verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's repeated multiple times in the Charitamrita. श्रीमान रास रसारंभी वंशी वटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथः श्रियेस्तु नः. Gopinath, who attracts all the gopis with the song of his flute and who has begun the most melodious rasa dance on the bank of the Yamuna in Vamshivat. May he ensure auspiciousness for us all. So this is Rasa Lila that took place in Vrindavan. But where is the mention of a Rasa Lila taking place at Govardhan? Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu, have you heard of a Rasa Lila taking place in Govardhan?
I don't know the answer, Prabhuji.
Right? So, dear devotees, the Sharadiya Rasa Lila or the autumn Rasa Lila took place at Vamshivat in Sri Vrindavan. Because if Govardhan has to be superior to Vrindavan, the question is, what is more superior than Rasa Lila? The first and most natural question is, the most supreme pastime of love between Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam is the Rasa Lila. What could be superior than the Rasa Lila? The answer is a second Rasa Lila, dear devotees, which took place in Sri Govardhan. And nothing without Praman. We have to give a proof. So, dear devotees, here is a proof about a second location for a second Rasa Lila that took place. Dear devotees, this is described by none other than Sri Radharaman Das Goswami. Dear devotees, I'll sing the verse. It's in the meter Shardula Vikriditam. Rase Shri Shatavandya Sundar Sakhi Vrindanchita Saurabha Brajat Krishna Rasala Bahu Vilasat Kanthi Madhav Madhavi Radhan Rityati Yatra Charuvalate Rasasthali Sapara Yasmin Kasukriti Tamunnatamaye Govardhanam Nashraye. Dear devotees, Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami in the Govardhanashraya Dashakam is saying in the 7th verse, Rase, during the Ras festival. But which Ras festival? In the second line, you can see Madhav in Madhu Mas. Which is Madhu Mas? Madhav Mas. Madhav Mas is the spring season. So Madhav Rase in the spring season Ras. So this is, I had described 4 types of Ras. This is Vasantik Ras, dear devotees, or Ras that took place in the spring season. So Rase, Madhav Rase, in the Rasa festival in the spring season, Madhavi, Radha, Shri Radha, what did she do? Shri Shatavandya Sundara Sakhi Vrindanchita. She was surrounded by hundreds of immensely beautiful Sakhis, each one of whom is glorified by hundreds of Lakshmis. And what was she doing? With her arms around the extremely fragrant arms of Sri Krishna. Saurabha Bhrajat Krishna Rasala Bahu Vilasat Kanti. Both of her arms were around the 2 fragrant arms of Sri Krishna. And what is the fragrance of Sri Krishna's arms? Deer musk. That is the main fragrance. There are many other fragrances, but the base fragrance of Sri Krishna's arms is deer musk. Dear devotees, this fragrance is now almost extinct in this world, because all the deer musk fragrance that is produced today is artificial. Real deer musk is now almost not to be found anywhere, because most of the deer were killed for musk in the past century in industrialization. So all the deer musk that we have is artificial. Real deer musk, even a tiny bit of it, is capable of perfuming an entire room, dear devotees. That is the potency of a tiny drop of real deer musk. With her arms around the extremely fragrant arms of Sri Krishna, Sri Radha Nrityati. Sri Radha dances at this place. Yatra Charu Valate Rasasthali. And this place contains a second beautiful Rasa arena, Rasa Sthali. Now, where is this Rasa Sthali located? So there is a Rasa Sthali in Sri Govardhan at Ashok Van. In the Parikrama, you can ask anybody, where is Ashok Van, where is Rasa Sthali in Govardhan? And Yasmin ka sukriti tamunnatamaya Govardhanam nashrayat. Which fortunate person will not take shelter of this great Govardhan hill? So dear devotees, Sri Govardhan fulfills all the criteria that Sri Vrindavan had fulfilled. Sri Govardhan had a second Rasa Lila, which is Vasantik Ras Lila. And I told you there is a speciality about the Vasantik Ras Lila. In the Sharadiya Ras Lila, in the autumn Ras Lila, Krishna disappears and there is great separation. But in Vasantik Ras Lila, such great separation does not occur. It is a festival of joyous union. And this is what we Gaudiya Vaishnavas want. We do not want that separation which Krishna introduced because he thought that the gopis were becoming proud. No, no, no. We don't want that. In fact, in the Ananda Vrindavan Champu of Sri Kavi Karnapur, it is described that in this Rasa Lila, in this Vasantik Rasa Lila, Sri Radha stole the flute of Sri Krishna and disappeared. It is Sri Radha who disappeared. So we love that. Let him suffer for once. Let him understand what suffering in separation is. Why should Sri Radha suffer all the time? Let him get a taste of his own medicine. Dear devotees, this Rasa Lila occurred in Govardhan. Therefore, Govardhan fulfills all the criteria. You won't have to go anywhere outside Govardhan in order to see this particular pastime. Therefore, Govardhan is that particular location where all these pastimes will be seen. So Rasa Lila, we can put a check mark and say, yes, Rasa Lila occurred at Sri Govardhan. So definitely it is equal. Now it is equal to Sri Vrindavan. Now why is it greater than Sri Vrindavan? That we have to understand. Because not only did Rasa Lila take place here, many other sweet pastimes took place here. Many sweet pastimes. Dear devotees, it's time to begin our relationship with Sri Govardhan. It's time to begin that journey by which we will welcome Sri Govardhan within our heart. But for that, we have to understand what Leelas besides Rasa Lila took place in Sri Govardhan. In order to understand the specialty of Sri Govardhan, it's important to understand the sequence of Krishna Lila. At what age did Sri Krishna perform what pastimes? Dear devotees, it's very important to understand. Our acharyas have listed the sequence of Sri Krishna Lila. Dear devotees, according to the Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas, 6th day from birth, Sri Krishna killed Putana. This is the first major event after his birth. At the completion of his first year, when his first birthday was being celebrated, on that day, during the celebration, he killed Trinavarth. Oh, no, not Trinavarth, this should be Shakatasur actually. So this he killed the cart, Shakatasur. And in that first year itself, he killed Trinavarth. Then, second year, when it was complete, and the third year had begun, in Kartik Mas, Damodar Lila took place. A few days after Damodar Lila, his first entry in the Vrindavan, he was allowed to go a little bit outside with his friends. And a few months after that, he was allowed with the elderly people to go herd the calves. A few days after that, he killed Vatsasur, Bakasur, and Vyomasur. Then the third year completed and his fourth year begun. In the autumn season, kidnapping of calves and cowherds by Sri Brahma took place. Next year, when the fourth year was complete and the fifth year begun, in Kartik, he started herding the cows. Independently, he was able to take the cows. In the same year, in summer, he chastised Kaliya. In 6th year, when the 6th year completed and 7th year began, he killed Dhenukasur and Pralambasur. Dear devotees, in the 7th year, he entered into adolescence. Adolescence is known as Kishore, Kaishore Lila. Usually, adolescence begins after 10 years. But in the case of Sri Krishna, the Acharya says, Saptamarambhe Kaishora Pravesha. Krishna entered into adolescence much earlier in his 7th year. And when adolescence begins, the feelings within the heart begin to change. Dear devotees, Purva Raga began at that point of time. Rameshwar Mahaprabhu, do you know what is Purva Raga? Have you heard the term before?
It means the attraction that a lover has for the beloved before they've met.
Wonderful. The attraction that a boy and a girl have for each other before they have found courage to meet each other. So in the material world also, there is a material variation of Purva Raga. And in this variation, when young boys and young girls were growing up, around the age of 10, 11, 12, they start developing mutual attraction for each other, but they don't have the courage to speak to each other because of the pressures of society. So this, dear devotees, in the material world is called Purva Raga. Its origin is in the spiritual world, where Sri Krishna, because he was so eager to relish this particular pastime, in the 7th year, he made his entry into adolescence. Purva Raga began at that particular point of time. Sri Sanatan Goswami says one should not be astonished that Purva Raga began so early in Sri Krishna, although it usually begins at 11 or 12. Because Sri Krishna is such a personality, even in his infanthood, he was showing pastimes of adulthood. There are many indications of that in Sri Krishna Lila, and Sri Rupa Goswami in Padyavali has given a few verses to that effect. So Sri Krishna is capable of exhibiting pastimes of all ages at all ages, dear devotees. This is Sri Krishna's specialty. Sri Krishna entered into adolescence, Purva Raga begins. And when his 7th year was complete and in the beginning of the 8th year, he played upon his flute. This is known as Venugit, dear devotees. This is the sequence of pastimes. Dear devotees, now till this point of time, Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, can you see any particular direct meeting with the gopis?
No, Prabhuji.
There is no direct meeting with the gopis mentioned till this point. Purva Raga has begun when Sri Krishna has entered into his 7th year. And after entering into his 7th year, Sri Krishna and the gopis started having attraction for each other, but society was not allowing them to meet each other. Once again, I will share the sequence of pastimes so that all of us can have a clear look. Dear devotees, 6th day from birth, he killed Putana. Completion of 1st year, he killed Shakatasur, Trinavarth. 2nd year, complete, and 3rd year, Damodar Lila. When his 3rd year had begun, few days after Vrindavan forest, he entered into the forest because he had started walking with Balram. And both of them used to go into the forest sometimes. A few months after that, they began herding cows with the elderly gopas. A few days after that, he killed Vatsasur, Bakasur, and Vyomashur. Then, when his 3rd year completed and 4th year began, the Brahma Vimohan Lila took place. The 4th year completed and the 5th year began. He began herding the cows. Gopashtami took place. And in the same year, in summer, he chastised Kaliya. In the next year, he killed Dhenukasur and Pralambasur. And the next year, he entered adolescence and Purva Raga with the gopis, especially with Sri Radha began. This Purva Raga was intensified by his playing the flute. Sri Jiva Goswami says, Venu shiksha chalena prayasi bhiksha. On the pretext of playing the flute, he was begging for love from the gopis, the devotees. Now, because of his playing of flute, the Purva Raga attained intensity. Sri Jiva Goswami describes this. Please hear carefully, dear devotees. This verse is in the meter Shikharini. Prasange chaviksha sprihitamanushanga abhilashitam prithagloka pratisamayamudvegakalana ime bhava yugme yugapadudetanstat kramavasha aho durastetyorabhidayitayore karuchita. The meter is Shikharini. So this is the meter. Same as Jagannath Ashtakam. What is the condition of the lover and the beloved in Purva Raga? Especially when it has been intensified by Krishna's playing of the flute. Prasangecha. Both Sri Radha and Krishna have the desire to be introduced to each other. When will that day come when somebody will introduce me to Sri Radha and Sri Radha thinks, when will that day come when somebody will introduce me to Krishna? Viksha sprihitam, the desire to see each other freely. But that is not possible. Why is it not possible? Because society doesn't allow this meeting to happen. It has been decided already that the gopis will be married to some other gopas besides Sri Krishna. Therefore, society is preventing the meeting from occurring. Prithagloka natural disdain for those people who prevent such a meeting. Prati samayam udvega kalana, and the signs of mental agitation at all times. When Sri Krishna heard that Sri Radha will be married to somebody else, at that point of time, Sri Krishna hid himself in a grove and was crying in solitude. Dear devotees, it is described by Sri Jiva Goswami in Gopala Champu. Ime bhava yugme. These symptoms were produced simultaneously, yugapaduditas, simultaneously in whom? Radha and Krishna. Aho durastityor, wonderful is that love. Apidayitayore karuchita, which produces similar desires in two entities who are situated far away from each other. Two people who are far away from each other usually don't develop the same signs of love. But Purva Raga is such that it makes two people who are situated far away from each other experience the same feelings of anxiety in separation. Thus, both of them suffer, dear devotees. Now, I'm not going to explain how this suffering is not material because I have explained it so many times. So, henceforth, I'll just be saying both of them suffer and cry, dear devotees. For the last time, I'm saying this suffering is not material. It is immense joy and it is an experience of us, dear devotees. So, both of them suffer. And they are situated far away from each other and they are looking for an excuse to meet each other. Dear devotees, after the 7th year has completed and the 8th year has begun, in the month of Kartik, the Govardhan Lila takes place. And it is this Govardhan Lila which allows Srimati Radharani to freely gaze at Sri Krishna. Thus, our dear friend Sri Govardhan becomes the most important facilitator of the first union of eyes between Sri Radha and Sri Krishna, dear devotees. So during Govardhan Lila, direct eye contact between Sri Krishna and Sri Radha took place. You can look at the painting. You can see Sri Radha is able to directly gaze into Sri Krishna's eyes, because he's lifting Govardhan, he's performing such a wonderful act. So everybody is looking at Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna also through the corner of his eyes is glancing at Sri Radha, because he's also a little shy at glancing too directly at her. But she's able to glance directly because he's performing a wonderful act. Dear devotee, Sri Rupa Goswami describes a wonderful verse in Sri Padyavali at this point of time. I've often quoted this verse. The Sakhis around Sri Radha try to play a joke because they notice the weakness of her heart and she is staring continuously at Sri Krishna. So they say the following to her. Duram drishti pathatiro bhav hare Govardhanam biphratas Tvayasakta drisha krishodari kara Srastosya bhudayam Gopinamiti jalpitam kalayato Radha nirodhashrayam Shwasa shailabharashrama brahmakara Kamsadvisha pantuva. Sri Radha is situated near to Sri Krishna and Sri Krishna is looking at her. The gopis near her play a joke upon her. Duram drishti pathat. Hey Radha, Duram drishti pathat. Get out of the sight of Sri Krishna. Tirobhava, disappear from here. Hare, can't you see Hari is doing something? What is he doing? Govardhanam bibratas. He is lifting Govardhan. Toya sakta drisha krishodari kara. Now if he keeps glancing at you and while being obsessed and looking at you, it may happen that the hill may slip from her hand. Karas rasto. And if it falls, that will be a big calamity. Asyamma bhudayam. Let it not happen like this. Gopinamiti jalpitam. The gopis were thus doing prajalpa. Jalpitam. They're doing prajalpa. Dear devotees, there is prajalpa in the spiritual world for those who have attained a Siddha Deha. There's a lot of prajalpa with Bhagavan Sri Krishna and his associates. So Gopinamiti jalpitam. So the gopis were doing prajalpa like this. Kalayato. Somebody heard this. Who heard this? Sri Krishna heard this. And what did he come to know? Radha nirodhashrayam. That in this prajalpa, they were trying to prohibit Sri Radha from standing there in front of Sri Krishna. Now what did Sri Krishna do? Shwasa shaila bhara shrama brahmakara kamsa dvisha. Rupa Goswami also doesn't miss any chance to make a sarcastic comment on Sri Krishna. Kamsa dvisha. He who is not afraid even of Kamsa, the enemy of Kamsa, now became weak. Shwasa suddenly started breathing heavily. Oh my goodness, the hill is falling from my hand. So they were trying to take Sri Radha away. And as she was going away, he started saying, oh, my hand is shaking. And then they said, no, 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 you stay right here in front of him. You're a big source of energy for Sri Krishna. Stay right here. So Shwasa Pantua, may this heavy breathing of Sri Krishna protect all of you, dear devotees. Now, how will it protect all of us, devotees? How will the breathing of Sri Krishna protect us, devotees? Because if we are able to remember this heavy breathing of Sri Krishna at the final moment of our lives, when we need it the most, if we remember this heavy breathing of Sri Krishna, then after we close our eyes and open it again, we will be born in Bhauma Vrindavan in the direct presence of Sri Krishna, dear devotees. This is what we need for all of us. May the heavy breathing of Sri Krishna protect all of you. This is the auspicious remark made by Srila Rupa Goswami at the end of the verse in Sri Padyavali. Prabhuji, kindly read the translation.
Please go far away from the path of Krishna's eyes. O slender girl, don't make Govardhan Hill fall from his hand because he is absorbed in gazing at you. When Krishna heard the gopis' words to stop Radha, he sighed, and the hill began to slip from his hand. May those heavy sighs of Lord Krishna protect you all.
So what is mentioned in the verses, he began, he breathed heavily, and may that heavy breathing protect you all. But what is not mentioned is because of his heavy breathing, they brought her back. So may that heavy breathing which brought her back protect all of you. So dear devotees, this is one Leela which happened in Sri Govardhan, the first meeting of Sri Radha and Krishna. Direct eye-to-eye contact without any fear happened at Sri Govardhan. Therefore, this Govardhan is a witness of these pastimes of union. Govardhan is not a witness of the pastimes of separation, so much as it is a witness of the pastimes of union. Another pastime which took place in Govardhan is Dan Lila. There is a place named Dan Ghati, which is in Sri Govardhan. And in Dan Ghati, it is a narrow lane in Sri Govardhan, where the gopis were coming down from Sri Govardhan, and there was a narrow lane, and when they were coming down, Sri Krishna had decided that day to exact a toll from all of them. And obviously, the toll which he was asking from them was the yogurt, the milk that they were carrying. But the actual toll which he wanted from them was something different. So this Dana Lila took place in Sri Govardhan. Sri Rupa Goswami describes that when the gopis were coming near that Dana Ghati, suddenly Lalita and Vishakha Sakhi noticed that Sri Krishna and his friends are present there, and they are deciding on doing something mischievous. They wanted to quietly slip out of there, and Sri Krishna noticed them slipping away quietly. He asked his friend Arjuna Sakha, one of his friends, to obstruct the path. Arjun Sakha obstructed the path along with other friends such as Subal and Madhumangal. And at that point of time, Subal asked them, first and foremost, before moving ahead, you should all pay respect to our chief toll collector. Who's the chief toll collector? Shri Krishna is here. He's the chief toll collector. And I'll not allow you to go ahead unless you pay respects. Give pranams to him. Don't you see? He's our main toll collector for here. And then Lalita and Vishaka Sakhi, they said, who decided that he will become toll collector? For what purpose has he become toll collector today? That we will not tell you right now. First and foremost, you should know that he is the king of Vrindavan. And Nanda Maharaj, he is the head of Sri Vrindavan. And because Nanda Maharaj is the head, he is the natural next head. And the king has a right to exact toll from the citizens. So please, first and foremost, pay respect to him. At that point of time, Vishaka laughed and said, don't we know very well how, worthy of respect this prince is? But today we have taken a vow, please listen to us. With folded hands, we tell you that we are carrying fresh butter to a fire sacrifice. And Purnamasi has forbidden us to bow in front of anyone except a Dvija. Just near, Vrindavan, there used to live these Brahmanas. There's a pastime with the Yagya Patnis, with the wives of the Brahmanas. So just near Vrindavan, there used to live many Brahmanas. The Purnamasi has forbidden us to bow in front of anyone except a Dvija. So Vishaka is fighting back, dear devotees. At that point of time, Arjun Sakha says, our chief toll collector has also taken a vow today. There is no harm in paying respect to a person who has taken a vow by all of you who have also taken vows. You have also taken a vow. He has also taken a vow. So there's no harm. Both of you are doing a very sacred duty. So now Lalita and Vishaka Sakhi understood that, this argument is not going to work. Lalita said, what vow? Suddenly, Sri Krishna jumped into the conversation. Rameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu, please read the name of the vow.
Ooh, okay. Nityama balar buddha dvija vasanadhanam namavratam.
Wonderful. Nityamabala Arbuda Dvijavasanadhanam Nama Vratam. Prabhuji, what sort of vow is this? We have to understand, because Sri Krishna is Vidagdha Madhav, expert Madhav. But we have to beat him at his own game, Prabhu. We have now come in front of that person who's showing his expertise. And what expertise, Prabhu? Now, I have broken it down. Nityam Abalar Buddha Dvija Vasana Danam Nama Vratam. Vratam is vow, Nam is named. So the vow named Nityam Abalar Buddha Dvija Vasana Danam. What is the vow, Prabhu? First term is Nityam. What is the meaning of Nityam, Prabhu?
Daily.
Abala,
Helpless.
Arbuda,
100 million.
Dvija,
Ramana.
because Brahman twice born. Brahmanas take birth twice, therefore. Vasana,
Cloth.
Danam.
Donation.
So Namavratam, this is the name of the vow. So Prabhu, can you please tell us what vow has Sri Krishna taken?
The vow of donating cloth every day to 100 million helpless brahmanas.
Does this sentence even make sense in the context of the discussion? It's a nonsensical sentence. Why are you obstructing us if you have taken a vow of giving charity of cloth to 100 million helpless brahmanas? We agree that we are also helping the brahmanas, you are also helping the brahmanas. Why are you obstructing our way? Then Sri Radha and Lalita Vishaka understood this person is like Srila Prabhupada says, is the biggest rascal, actually. So I don't have the strength to say that right now, but I can stand on the shoulders of Srila Prabhupada and say, this person is a big rascal. Prabhu, what is the name of the vow again, Prabhuji?
Nityam bala arbuddha dvija vasanadhanam.
What does Nityam mean, Prabhu?
Daily.
Abala,
Helpless ladies.
Arbuda,
100 million.
Dvija,
Teeth.
because teeth also take birth twice, milk teeth and permanent teeth. Vasana,
Covering lips.
Danam.
Kissing.
Can you tell us, Prabhu, what Krishna meant?
The daily vow of kissing 100 million helpless ladies passing through this toll gate.
You're laughing, Prabhuji. You are enjoying Hasyaras. This was the purpose for which Sri Rupa Goswami wrote Dan Keli Kaumudi. Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami was heavily depressed after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world. And he was feeling separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Rupa Goswami wanted to remind Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami that these pastimes are so joyous. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be very happy if you relished these pastimes. So he wrote Dan Keli Kaumudi. Shri Krishna came up and said, Nityam Abala Arbudat Vijavasanatayanam Nama Vrata. Now, Prabhu, you have met the most expert grammarian in the whole wide world. And now Sri Radha and the gopis, they have to pay obeisances to this person who is going to perform his Nityam Abala Arbudat Vijavasanatayanam Nama Vrata. Then Sri Radha gave a reply. हर्षणेन कुलस्त्रीणां भुजङ्गेशः क्षमः कथं यदेतादशनैरेष दशन्नाप्नोति mangalam. Krishna was increasing his boldness with every step. After that, Krishna opened his small box of pan. Pan is betel nut leaf. He said, or rather, and he took one pan and he half chewed it and kept it back in the box and closed the box. And he put it in front of Sri Radha and said, oh Radha, my pan has also been decorated by the Dvijas. One meaning is that the pan has been made by Brahmanas. Another meaning is my pan is decorated with my tooth marks. Take any five of them, and relish the nectar of this pan decorated by Dvijas. So Sri Radha spoke this verse. Darshanen kulastrinam bhujangesha kshamah katham yadeta dashanairesha dashannapnoti mangalam. Bhujanga. Prabhu, Bhujanga means snakes. Bhujanga Isha, the lord of the snakes. Kshamah katham. How can Bhujangesh, lord of the snakes, ever become capable of harassing the Nakula Strinam, Nakula Stri, female mongoose? Yadeta dashanairesha, because if the snake once bites them, once bites the female mongoose, napnoti mangalam, then he attains the greatest misfortune of his life. What is the greatest misfortune? Misfortune in the form of death caused due to the counter attacks of the female mongoose. So Sri Radha, she is clearly speaking a verse which appears to be externally attacking the moves of Sri Krishna at this point of time. Then Sri Krishna understands what she is trying to say. Harshane na kulastrinam bhujangesha kshamah katham yadeta dashanairesha tashannapnoti mangalam. Bhujanga also means a lusty person, a paramour. Bhujanga Isha. What makes it improper for the lord of all lusty young men to harass us who are kulastris, damsels of noble birth? There is nothing improper for you to harass us. Yadeta dashanairesha dashannapnoti mangalam. Only by his kissing does he attain the greatest, most immense pleasure. This was the hidden meaning behind what she was saying externally. So externally, she was speaking very harsh words, but the internal feeling in her heart was that she also wanted to have these pastimes of love with Sri Krishna. These dear devotees, all of this took place in Dan Ghati, in Sri Govardhan. This is the place where Sri Krishna exacted toll. And what is the toll? Externally, the toll is yogurt and milk. But the actual toll is the toll of prema, toll of amorous love, dear devotees. These pastimes have been witnessed by Sri Govardhan. Each and every shila, each and every flat stone of Govardhan is a witness to all these pastimes, dear devotees. And if we want to witness all these pastimes, we should have Sri Govardhan as a near and dear friend, as an ally, somebody whom we will assist in his seva, and by assisting Sri Govardhan, we will be able to see these pastimes of union, because ultimately the Gaudiya Vaishnav wants union of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. This is the aim of life of the Gaudiya Vaishnav. Sri Jiva Goswami therefore says, and I am repeating that verse, दान केलि कलौ लुप्त धर्म मर्यादयोर भजे राधा माधव यह काम लोभ दंभ मदानृतम. Prabhu, kindly read the translation.
I worship the lust, greed, deceit, pride, and falsities of Radha and Madhava, who have lost all sense of worldly religiosity while displaying their loving quarrel in the pastime, such as exacting tax. Dana.
Yes. So all this anger that we saw, we got a little hint of what is going on in Dana Lila. I just gave a very small hint because Dana Lila is in itself a big topic. But all the anger, all the sweetness in their loving quarrel, all the lust, all the greed, all the deceit, all the pride, I worship all of that, Sri Jiva Goswami said. I put that on my head and I worship that. Because that is the sustenance of my life. That is how I am sustaining myself in my spiritual life. By remembering these pastimes. Sri Jiva Goswami says in his commentary to Sri Rupa Goswami's Dana Keli Kaumudi. Now, dear devotees, this is not the only pastime. There's another special pastime which took place in Sri Govardhan. And this pastime, dear devotees, is described by Sri Radharaman Das Goswami in the same Govardhanashraya Dashakam. Yasyam madhava naviko rasavati आधाय राधाम तरौ मध्ये चंचल के निपात वलना त्रासैस्तुवत्यास्तथा स्वाभीष्टं पणमादधे वहति सा यस्मिन् मनो जाह्नवी कस्तं तन्नव दंपति प्रतिभुवं गोवर्धनं नाश्रये. Yasyam Madhava Naviko. In that pastime, Madhav became Navika. He became a boatman. Rasavati Adhaya Radham Tarau. He tricked Radha into climbing on his boat. And this boat was on which particular river? This was on Mansi Ganga. Where is Mansi Ganga mentioned? You see the third line in the end, Mano Jahnavi. Mano means Manasi. Jahnavi is another name for Ganga. Mano Jahnavi. This is Mansi Ganga. And the last line obviously says Govardhanam. So this pastime happened at Mansi Ganga in Govardhan. Madhya Chanchalake, then he takes her in the middle of the river. And then Nipat Valanat makes it shake vigorously, or through the arrangement of Yogamaya, arranges some temporary storm by which the boat starts rocking. Trasai, she becomes very perturbed. Stuvatyas and starts praying to her. Now she is fully surrendered to him because she can't go anywhere. Swabhishtam panamadade, then he exacts, a rescue fee from her. What is the rescue fee? That rescue fee is in the form of kissing her, touching her, etc. And this happened. Yes, Min Mano Jahanavi Mansi Ganga. Next time, dear devotees, we visit Mansi Ganga, we should not simply see it as a ritualistic place where, some important activity happened and there because it is in Govardhan, therefore we pay obeisances to it. From the Gaudiya Vaishnava point of view, what happened is described by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. In Govardhan, the eternal couple enjoy their pastimes of rescue fees and where Mansi Ganga flows. In the Mansi Ganga, the captain of the ship named Madhav took charming Radha on his boat. And when she, frightened by a great storm, prayed that he calm it, he claimed from her as a rescue fee in form of kissing her, touching her, etc. Who will not take shelter of this Govardhan, the great witness of these loving pastimes of the eternal youthful couple, Radha and Krishna? There's a very nice verse by Sri Rupa Goswami which describes, this pastime. Actually, these pastimes, both pastimes take place also in the Yamuna. They also take place in the Mansi Ganga. In the Padyavali, there are many verses which describe the both pastimes that take place on the Yamuna. But there is a critical edition of Padyavali which also has a verse, which describes these pastimes in Govardhan. This verse is in the meter Manda Kranta. Gopyo yuyam shrunut sahate naustritiyam na yasmad apyekaikam tadiha bhavati stiramuttarayami ityuktabhirmasranayanairabhirapiyamanu Gopi bharta pulak patali pravritah patu sosman. Gopyo yuyam shrunata. Gopis, all of you please hear me. Naustritiyam na yasmat sahate. My boat cannot tolerate the weight of 3 people. So how many people can it tolerate? Only 2 people. All right. So what will you do? We have to cross over to the other side. Api ekekam tadiha bhavati stiram uttare. So I will only be able to carry one by one to the other side. All right. I said, okay. Then as soon as he said that, Sri Radha understood and she indicated to all the other gopis what this person is up to. Ityuktabir, he'll take us to the middle of the Mansi Ganga and then he will exact a rescue fee from each and every one of us. On hearing this, he was bashfully and lovingly gazed upon by the gopis, who drank the nectar of his form through his eyes. So, Gopi Bharta, may that lover of the gopis, who then displayed goosebumps on his body, protect us all. Sri Krishna, he is hankering for that loving look from Sri Radha, that look of love. You know, most people don't understand in this world that love is mainly in the way a person interacts with us. Most people have physical attraction and infatuation with another person. And in actuality, even in this world, what to speak of the spiritual world, even in this world, actual love is in the way a person looks at us. Even in this world, actual love is reflected in the way a person looks at us. That is what you call the gaze of love. And those of us who in the material world have had the fortune of experiencing love, although many people, many renunciates will say it is all lust. All right, let them say that. But those of us who have had the fortune of experiencing love in the world, they know that love is experienced mainly by looking at the emotions within the eyes of the beloved. Sri Krishna hankers for this expression of love, the gaze of love of Sri Radha. This is validation for Sri Krishna, that I am accepted by you completely. This validation is what even God wants. God wants to be validated by Sri Radha's look of love. Therefore, it is important for Sri Radha also to keep giving him this validation from time to time. And she gives this on various pastimes in Sri Govardhan. Sri Radha is portrayed as a timid lady often, who becomes easily afraid, who takes shelter of Krishna in difficult situations. Because this is the type of Nayika. This is the type of lady Sri Krishna wants to fall in love with. She will adjust to that. Now, some people may hear this and say, why Krishna cannot tolerate a bold lady? Krishna can also deal with a bold lady. In Dwarka, he is married to many Kshatriya ladies, all of whom are capable of fighting a war on their own. That's not an issue. He is expert in dealing with all sorts of ladies. But for his personal happiness, the mood that he wants is perfectly reflected in each and every aspect of Sri Radha's existence. And this is what makes her Sri Krishna Akarshini. She attracts Sri Krishna in all ways, in all possible ways. There is nothing about Srimati Radharani, absolutely not even a tiny atom about her existence, that will be non-attractive to Sri Krishna. Dear devotees, that is what Srimati Radharani's existence means to Sri Krishna. Therefore, when she gave that gaze of love to Sri Krishna, he immediately displayed goosebumps on his body. Immediately displayed goosebumps on his body. Dear devotees, this proves a very important point, The important point is, and I was mentioning this, the enjoyment that Sri Krishna gets in these dealings with Srimati Radharani is much greater than the enjoyment that he gets in some prayoga. This is why he displays these goosebumps, horripilations on his body during various such pastimes. This is what he wants. Now, dear devotees, Govardhan is a witness to all of this. But besides this, the gopis have also pointed out something about Shri Govardhan. And this is directly in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Venugit, the gopis say something about Shri Govardhan. Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo yad Ram Krishna charana sparsha pramodah manam tanoti sahago ganayostayortat pani yasuya vasakandara kandamuyai. Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varya. Of all the devotees, Govardhan Hill is Haridas Varya, the greatest devotee of Shri Krishna. Why? Because this hill supplies Krishna and Balram along with their calves, cows and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Pani, suyavas, pani, water for drinking. Suyavasa, very soft grass. Kandara, caves. Kanda, fruits, flowers, vegetables. Mulai. In this way, hill offers respects to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram, Govardhan Hill appears very jubilant. So, dear devotees, Sri Govardhan is for us a guru who teaches us how to ensure that Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, both of them meet with each other. Like in the Guru Ashtakam of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we say, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastrair Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhihi Kintu Prabhor Yah Priyam Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindan. Who is Guru? Sakshat Haritvena. He is directly Shri Hari. Samasta Shastrair Uktas. All the literatures say that Guru is directly Hari. Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi. Sadhus also feel that Shri Guru is directly Shri Krishna. Kintu, but however, more important than that, Prabhor Yah Priyam. More important than being Krishna is that he is a dear servant of Shri Krishna. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. This verse is exactly applicable to Shri Govardhan. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. That he is directly Hari. And Srimad Bhagavatam itself says, Esha Govardhana Sakshat Krishna Evana Samshaya. This Govardhan is directly Krishna, no doubt. Kintu Prabhorya Priya, but he is Haridas Varya. His most important identity, more important than being Krishna, is being the dearmost servant of Sri Krishna. And therefore, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Therefore, we offer obeisances to Shri Guru, who has appeared in the form of Shri Govardhan. Dear devotees, we worship Shri Govardhan. And also because Shri Jiva Goswami says, Govardhan serves Shri Krishna in ways that no other devotee can serve. He is Haridas Varya, topmost devotee. It's not an exaggeration. Dameshwar Mahaprabhu, when we worship the Lord, every day when we do deity worship, we offer upacharas. Do you know the meaning of the term upachara?
No, Prabhuji.
Item of worship, for example, incense, dhupa, lamp, fan. Each one of them is one upachara. Have you ever offered some upacharas to a photograph or to a deity?
Yes.
How many upacharas do you offer?
I'm not very learned in deity worship, Prabhuji.
Approximately, how many did you offer?
I'm not. It's pretty simple.
Okay, I'm saying the number, maybe 3, 4, 5, approximately. Do you remember? Or have you seen devotees offering it on the altar? How many approximately do they offer?
11?
11? Okay. 11 is still a big stretch. Maybe, yeah, 11, they may be offering 11. Some offer 5, the lamp, the incense, and the fan, the chamar, and maybe 1 or 2 more. They may be offering, some may be offering 5, some may be offering 10, some may be offering 11. The maximum that one can offer is 16. But Sri Govardhan, How many upacharas does it offer to Sri Krishna? This is revealed by Sri Jiva Goswami in Gopala Champu. Prabhu, the first upachara that he offers is asan, seat. First and foremost, he welcomes Sri Krishna and gives asan. A guest should be welcomed by giving a seat. And it offers flat rock slabs, which are very suitable for sitting. Just yesterday, I was sitting on a flat rock slab of a temple. It's very comfortable to sit. So Sri Govardhan has flat rock slab and very smooth, very suitable for sitting. Next, it offers swagat, welcome song, by the sweet chirping of the birds around it. When Sri Krishna comes, Govardhan arranges the sweet chirping of the birds. Because Govardhan is, Govardhan is not just a hill, it's a conscious entity, dear devotees, Krishna himself taking on the role of his best servant. Third, Govardhan arranges pathya, food bathing water. As soon as Krishna steps in Govardhan, nearby there will be some waterfall mixed with some grass. So usually in Vedic culture, when a guest comes to our home, we put grass on his feet, we offer water. So that is called padya, food bathing water. Govardhan offers that. Next, arghya. Then some water is given in the hand with kusha grass. This is called arghya. So this is also offered by Govardhan by mixing kusha grass, because Govardhan has kusha grass in the waterfalls. Then Govardhan offers achaman. And this achaman is a fragrant one, because there are many cloves and many other, various spices which mix in the waters of Sri Govardhan. And they mix in the water and they make the water fragrant. And this is used by Sri Krishna as drinking water achaman. Then it offers madhuparka, an offering of milk and honey, because many cows, their milk is dripping on the surface of Govardhan and it gets mixed with the honey which is dripping from the trees. Often both these get mixed together and they produce madhuparka, a fragrant offering of milk and honey, which Sri Krishna loves to have. Then comes snan, bathing water, in form of various waterfalls. Then comes vastra, cloth. Sometimes Krishna loves to dress in a very simple, manner of in a simple, like a simple forest boy. So Govardhan gives cloth in the form of various tree barks, etc. Then Govardhan gives gandha or scent in the form of fragrant substances such as hari chandan, etc. Hari chandan is a mineral which gives a fragrant scent around it. Then Govardhan offers pushpa, flowers in the form of jasmine, etc. 11th is Govardhan offers dhupa in the form of aguru wood. Aguru is a very rare wood. 1 in 1,000 trees will get infected by a particular fungus. And in the material world, this is how aguru is produced. Amongst 1,000 aguru trees, 1 will get infected by a fungus, and then it will start secreting a particular secretion. And that wood which has that fungus in it, when it is burnt, that wood gives the fragrance of aguru. But because Govardhan is in the spiritual world, each and every aguru tree is able to produce that fragrance on Govardhan, dear devotees. Then it produces deepa, because it has many dazzling gems which glow even in the daylight. In this way, it offers deepa or lamp to Sri Krishna. And it offers abharan, ornaments in the form of gunja, seeds, etc., which Krishna uses to make a mala. Then it offers ahar, food in the forms of fruits and roots. So, kanda and mula. What is kanda? What is mula? So, roots which are fried are known as kanda, and roots which are eaten without frying are known as mula. So, sometimes you fry some roots, that is called as kanda. So, Shri Krishna can take some roots and he can take it home, and Mother Yashoda can, fry it up. That is called kanda. Even in India, recently on Ekadashi, I had kanda. So, kanda is, get that fruit itself, that root, it is called kanda. You cut it up, you fry it, and then it's very tasty, kanda. And that root which you don't fry is called mula, kanda mula. This is the difference between kanda and mula. So it gives ahar, food in the form of fruits, roots, etc. It gives mukhwas. After eating, a person should have a mouth refresher. This is culture, Vedic culture. You should be given a mouth refresher. So betel nut, betel leaf, tulsi, All these are mixed together and you give mukhwas to Sri Krishna. Govardhan offers mukhwas. Dear devotees, Govardhan also offers arati. It appears to offer arati in the form of brilliant jasmine flowers that move in a circular manner in the wind. With the jasmine flower, when heaps of them together move in a circular manner in the wind, it appears to offer arati. Chhatra, umbrella. In the rainy season, it has trees which have huge leaves. In fact, even the tamal tree is so dense that if you sometimes sit under a dense tamal tree, you will not get wet easily. It forms many trees are there which have huge leaves which act as chhatra or umbrella for Shri Krishna. 18th is Vyajana, fan. It has many trees which have fan-like leaves which move in the wind and offer fan to Shri Krishna. 19th is Nritya, dance in the form of dancing peacocks. 20th is Gita, songs in the form of singing of birds. And 21st is Shayya, sleeping bed in the form of smooth rocks. Dear devotees, in the Gopala Champu, Sri Jiva Goswami says some devotees can offer 5 upacharas, some can offer 10, some can offer 11, maximum somebody can offer is 16. And Tameshwar Mahaprabhu, how many upacharas does Govardhan offer to Sri Krishna?
21.
Hence, proved that Govardhan is Haridas Varya. Even amongst sadhaka devotees, even if you count the upacharas that sadhaka devotees offer, Govardhan is able to do a better job at any point of the day. Dear devotees, for this reason, Sri Rupa Goswami prays to Sri Govardhan in his Prathama Govardhanashraya. A very sweet meter, Matta Mayura. गांधर्वाया केलिगला बांधव कुंजे शून्यस्तस्या कंकणहारै प्रयतांग रासक्रीडा मंडितयोपत्यकयाढ्य प्रत्याशाम्ये त्वं कुरु गोवर्धन पूर्णा. गांधर्वाया केलिकला बांधव. Oh, dear friend of Gandharva, who assists her in the Punja's forest powers in her love sports. O Govardhan, Shunnais Tasya Kankana Harai Prayatanga, whose limbs are decorated with her fallen ornaments such as bracelets and garlands. Whatever ornaments which fall from Sri Radha's hands, whatever ornaments which fall from her neck, you wear as your ornaments. O Govardhan, Rasa Krida Manditayo Patyakayadhya. You are equipped with flat areas decorated with the signs of Rasa Lila, all the signs of love. O Govardhan, Pratyasham me, Tvam Kuru Purnam. O Shri Govardhan, please arrange the fulfillment of my desire so that I also may be able to witness these pastimes along with you. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Yadatra Skhalitam Kinchit, Vidvamsah Purayantu Tat. Yadatra Saushthavam Kinchit, Tat Guru Reva Me Nahi. If there's anything mistaken in this presentation, dear devotees, you are Vidvans, Purayantu Tat. Please correct any mistakes. But Yadatra Saushthavam Kinchit. If there's anything nice in the presentation, please remember, Tat Guru Reva. It belongs to my Gurujanas, including Sri Govardhan, who is also a Gurujana. Me nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. That presentation was really astonishing and enchanting and just so wonderful. So many waves of sweetness and even moments when it was very funny and surprising. There's just so much wonderful content there, so thank you so much. We're going to go now to questions and answers. We got a few hands up. We'll just request that you please focus on the topic of today and not bring up loaded questions about particular people or institutions, and try to keep your questions short so there's time for other people. If you have very complex or multiple questions, maybe just ask your first one and wait until other people get a chance. Anything else, Prabhuji?
Yeah, if you have a very obscure query from a particular source which is not related to the talk, then better to ask it in the WhatsApp group. If I have to look up a particular source in order to answer if you have a question about a very particular verse or a very particular commentary which is not related to this, then it may take some time to look up that reference. So those sort of questions are better asked in the WhatsApp group. And those of us who want to join the WhatsApp group and who have not yet joined the WhatsApp group, you can join the WhatsApp group by sending an email to a particular email address. That email address I'm showing on the screen. This is the email address, upadeshamritam@gmail.com. So if you send an email to this email address, and please make sure that you include your WhatsApp contact number, and then somebody will send you an invite. All right. Thank you.
Our first question is from Madhav Tripati Prabhu. I think I saw you on a video from ISKCON Dwarka about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Oh yes, I also should say today is the Tirobhav Tithi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in this personal journey on Upadeshamritam has been very, very, very merciful Acharya right from the very beginning, when it is needed for the sadhaka devotee to be cautious about sense enjoyment. He was very strict so that, the devotees can stay away from anything that prevents their attainment of the final goal. And finally, when it comes to these few verses, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, he speaks in a very rasik manner, and he reveals his heart in some of these verses. So often the side of him which is very strong and which is like a lion guru is projected. But he is definitely that. But besides that, he is also a very sweet and rasik Vaishnav who has revealed many secrets of the six Goswamis. At one point of time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and he requested Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, I want to print a book in big quantities and distribute. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, which book do you want to print and distribute in big quantity? This was before he started the Gaudiya Math, when he was very young. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, Ujjwal Nilmani. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, no, that's not possible. You should not do it. After a few days, he came back and he requested, I wanted to print this book. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, you should print one copy for your own purpose. That is what we should do. So, before he had started the institution Gaudiya Math, in his personal life, he was a supremely Rasik Vaishnava. He was a very Rasik Vaishnava, dear devotees. And this is the personal side of the Acharya. Because often we see the formal institutional side of the Acharya, the lion guru side of the Acharya. But he is the same person who had a very sweet mood. As soon as somebody would utter the name of Sri Radha, immediately he would have goosebumps on his body. Sometimes his skin would be flashing red. This is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This was his mood towards the divine couple, Sri Radha and Krishna. But he wanted to protect all of these pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna from individuals who will take undue advantage of these pastimes and who will get materially agitated. Therefore, he manifested a side of himself which we popularly know as Lion Guru. And he was staunchly against, all these apasiddhantas, because of which today we have a very firm grounding in our Gaudiya Vaishnava practice. Actually speaking, his main area of interest in life was astrology before, he took up to a full-time practice of bhakti. His main interest in life was astrology. And this is the reason why he got the degree Siddhant Saraswati, the degree of the title Siddhant Saraswati was gotten because of his expertise in Surya Siddhant. He wrote a commentary on Surya Siddhant and therefore he was called Siddhant Saraswati. He is like a Saraswati when it comes to explaining Surya Siddhant astrology. But then after he took sannyas, he became Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati. He is like a Saraswati when it comes to explaining Bhakti Siddhant. So Bhakti Siddhante Saraswati Iva iti Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati. He who is like a Saraswati when it comes to explaining Bhakti Siddhantas. And previously, he who is like a Saraswati when it comes to explaining Jyotish Siddhanta is Siddhant Saraswati. One time he looked at a person and he told, actually, how did he stop his practice of Jyotish? One last point I'll mention. One time he looked at a person and he told that person, you will die after 1 month. He just casually looked at him and said, you will die after 1 month. That person went to his home and told his family that, you know, this person is saying that I am going to die after 1 month. Nobody took it so seriously at that point of time. After 1 month, he died. So people from his family came complaining to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because your son said, therefore this person died. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, not because I said, because it was written on his face that he's going to die after a month. Therefore I said. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur called him in a private place and said, Siddhanta Saraswati, today you should take a vow. What is that vow? Take all your astrology books and put them in the Ganga. Henceforth, you should not practice astrology. So he took the word of his father very seriously, but otherwise, he was very interested in astrology. Even after forming the Gaudiya Math, he would not directly look at astrological charts, but sometimes he would look at brahmacharis and he would look at their face. Sometimes a brahmachari would be sleeping and his palm would be open. He would look at the lines on the palm. He would advise the brahmachari, go take to grihastha ashram. You are not suitable for brahmachari ashram. So he would he would advise, the devotees like this. So in this way, a very merciful Acharya who appeared as the Lion Guru and a Param Rasik Vaishnav, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, his Tirobhav is today. I pay my respectful obeisances to him and I pray for his mercy. Of course, it might have happened that, because in this attempt to glorify Sri Upadeshamritam, of course, I might have made many mistakes. But I pray to him that because I have discussed his commentary, therefore, simply because of discussion of his commentary, any shortcomings might be fully rectified by his mercy. So I pray to him. Thank you very much. Let the question and answers begin.
First we have Madhav Tripati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this wonderful class and this wonderful series continuing up from the Rasa Lila. That is really clearing up a lot of doubts which I might have had before listening to these talks. So, Prabhuji, my question is, today you brought up this topic about Purva Raga. So, can a sadhaka also feel Purva Raga? Like if a sadhaka feels some attraction towards Krishna and that feeling which he has for meeting Krishna, can that also be called Purva Raga? Can that also be like put into that category?
The answer to this question is no, because all these emotions are experienced through the Siddha Deha. The sadhaka can reach a point where the sadhaka has realized Siddha Deha. In the Siddha Deha, as long as he is in this body, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in this body, as long as you are existing, the only stage of prema that you can experience is Purva Raga. I think he says that in Jaiva Dharma or Chaitanya Shikshamrit. So he says very clearly in one of his writings that the stage of love that you can experience in this particular body, in the Siddha Deha, not as the Sadhaka Deha, is Purva Raga. So that is what it is, Prabhuji. Otherwise, the sadhaka's feelings for Sri Krishna cannot be called Purva Raga, because Purva Raga is basically experienced in the Siddha Deha. It is not something for Sadhaka Deha. That is the answer to your query.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Dhanvat Pranam.
Next we have Anant Vijay Prabhu.
Guruji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a very nice class and mentioning the aspiration of union for Gaudiyas. Prabhuji, my question is, Prabhuji, that you mentioned the smell of Krishna's hand is like musk, deer musk. So,
Prominently.
yes, yes. Prabhuji, is there any pramana for that, Prabhuji? I want to ask.
Oh, of
Like
course. In Padyavali, Srimati Radharani's own words are there. His entire body is fragrant with. That's a very nice verse. Let me bring up that verse. I also had it in one of the presentations. When Sri Radha, for the first time, she sees Sri Krishna and she becomes attracted to him. Yes, I have that verse in front. I will show you that verse, Prabhuji. Let me share my screen with you. Yeah. Here is that verse. This is Purva Raga in Sri Radha. Puro Nilajyotsna tadanu mriganabhi parimalas tato lila venu kvanitamanu kanchi kalarava tado vidyudvalli valayita chamatkar Tarangalavanyam tadanu sahajananda udaga. So, Prabhuji, kindly read the translation. Anant Vijay Prabhu, let's try to unmute you.
Dear Sakhi, first I saw a splendid blue effulgence. Then I smelled the fragrance of a deer musk. Then I heard playful flute music. Then I heard the sweet twinkling of a sash of bells. Then I saw waves of wonderful handsomeness encircled by stationary lighting flash. As a result of this, I experienced immense natural bliss within myself. Padyavali 165.
So, what is the Sanskrit term that you see here for deer musk? Can you locate? Mriganabhi parimala. Parimala means fragrance, and Mriganabhi is the fragrance which comes from that particular deer. So that fragrance, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Right. So this is the prominent
Yes,
fragrance of Sri Krishna, that is Mriganabhi, and sometimes he has other fragrances also. So when he killed Kuvalaya Pid, that elephant also emitted a particular type of fragrance, and that fragrance got applied to his hands. That is also described in the Padyavali. There are various types of fragrances that Sri Krishna has, and this is one particular fragrance. There are other fragrances, that Sri Krishna has, and those fragrances are also described in Shastra, such as Aguru, etc. So this is the answer to your query. I hope that satisfies your query. All right.
Next, we have Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danat Pranam. Thank you for such a wonderful Nectarian Katha, as always. So my question was, you mentioned in the Katha that when we remember Vraja Lila, any pastime of Vraja Lila, then we like enter into the Bhauma Vrindavan. Then why in particular use the Bhauma Vrindavan term? Why not Goloka Vrindavan directly? Is it that
I was
first
saying that if you leave your body while thinking of any particular pastime of Krishna, when you close your eyes, next time you open your eyes, you will be in Bhauma Vrindavan, directly participating in the pastimes of Sri Krishna. Because our acharyas have very clearly said that after you leave, when you perfect your, practice of bhakti, you will not directly go to Golok Vrindavan. You will first take birth in Bhauma Vrindavan, where Sri Krishna's pastimes are going on. One place where this is mentioned by the previous acharyas is in the Ragvartma Chandrika of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In the Ragvartma Chandrika of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, at the end, he specifies that the devotee takes birth in Bhauma Vrindavan from the womb of a gopi. So I will highlight this in front of you so that you can see wherein Raghavartma Chandrika has been said. He says, Saiva Tanur, that body which you perfected through your sadhan bhakti, that Siddha Deha, Yoga Maya, by Yoga Maya, Vrindavaniya Prakata Prakashe. When Vrindavan Prakash comes in the material world, Krishna Parivara Pradurbhava Samaya, when Krishna's family also appears. At that time, Gopi Garbhad Udbhavyate. Your body takes birth from the womb of a gopi. So that is what it is. But in this also, there is no material suffering even in that body. That is the answer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Sapramana, with Praman, it has been shown. Thank you.
Thank you for increasing our Shastriya Shraddha. Hare Krishna.
Next we have Kamala Mataji and Kaminiya Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Babaji, Dhanavad Pranam to the Lotus Below, to the Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas Babaji. Very beautifully you have described and explained the very nectarian pastimes of Govardhan Lila. I would say, and the underneath meaning of it too, hidden meaning. So Babaji, like I was curious to know that because of all these pastimes, whatever we have discussed so far, could that be the reason of the pastime of Govardhan Puja, where Krishna himself is coming as a Govardhan, and all the people are offering, and they're offering to the Govardhan hill. So all that pastime happened before all these pastimes. So I'm like little bit trying to get a clarity on that.
All right.
What could be? Yeah. Thank you.
So Prabhuji, when I showed the sequence of pastimes, in which year what pastime happened, so I showed till 7 years. Till 7 years, Govardhan Lila had not taken place. When the 8th year started, Govardhan Lila took place. And Rasa Lila in Sri Vrindavan took place when he was 11 or 12 years old. I think 12 years old. So that is the age at which Rasa Lila took place. So that is in Vrindavan. And in Govardhan also, around that or after that time. So all the pastimes of union happened after the first union, which happened when Krishna lifted Govardhan. First union was when Krishna lifted Govardhan. That is when Sri Radha and Krishna saw eye to eye. So that is eye to eye union. Then later, Sri Radha and the gopis freely started meeting Krishna, and then all the later pastimes followed. So first Govardhan Puja happened. Then the Purva Raga, which Purva Raga is a stage of separation actually. Purva Raga is not a stage of union. Purva Raga is a stage of separation because the lover and beloved want to meet each other, but they are separated by the rules of the society. So Govardhan Lila arranged their meeting so that Sri Radha can gaze freely at Sri Krishna. Thereafter, all the pastimes began in and around Govardhan, in and around Sri Vrindavan. So that is the sequence, Guruji.
Right. Thank you so much for clearing some doubts. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, I also added a pramanam from Srila Prabhupada here.
Yes,
from
please
the
read.
Krishna book, chapter 28. The fact is that those who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and mature, pure devotional service are given the chance after death to gain Krishna's association in one of the universes within the material world.
Wonderful. Yeah, within the material world, you get direct association of Shri Krishna. So this is the same principle that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and all the acharyas have given in their books. All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Next we have Bishwadeep Roy Prabhu.
Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you for today's class. I was always wanting to look some works, shlokas from Dan Keli Kaumudi, but I didn't have the courage to go. But today you show us some glimpse of those verses. So thank you for that. So one question I have is, you have shown that how many upchars have been given by Govardhan for Krishna. So one of that is as a
Mukhavas.
after
Mukhavas.
that upa
Mukhavas, mouth freshener.
yes, Mukhavas. So Tulsi is given by Govardhan. So when we talk of sadhakas in material world, is there some rules written in shastras like Hari Bhakti Vilas or something like that about uh, accepting tulsi leaves or something like that? Because many rules have been told that we should not chew, we should not boil. So these are this written in shastras, or we we like as a respect for Tulsi Maharani just do not do this?
There are rules written in Hari Bhakti Vilas. First and foremost, sadhakas don't take tulsi as mukhavas. For sadhakas, the tulsi is not to be considered as mukhavas. For sadhakas, tulsi is Keshava Priya. Keshava Priya means she is very dear to Sri Krishna. Therefore, our aim is to always keep her in the service of Sri Krishna. She is Vrinda Devi, basically. She arranges for the pastimes. So wherever Sri Krishna is, she should be there in order to ensure the continuity of pastimes. We do not have any mentality that tulsi is for our bhoga or tulsi is for our medicinal purpose or anything like that. We may use all other medicines in the world, but not tulsi as a medicine, not tulsi as a bhoga. Therefore, whenever it is required to crush tulsi for a medicine, it is required to boil tulsi for a medicine. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas avoid such uses of tulsi. Main reason not being because she'll feel pain or something like that. For pain, you have already spoken while plucking tulsi. The mantra for plucking tulsi is Tulasyamrita Janmasi Sadatvam Keshava Priya Keshavartham Chinomi Tvam Varada Bhava Shobhane. This mantra is there while plucking tulsi. So you have already asked forgiveness for plucking her and the pain caused. The main reason why we don't boil her or crush her after plucking her is because she is not an object of the enjoyment of the sadhak. That is the mood behind it. Right? I hope that clarifies. Okay. There are some very big tulsi leaves, which you cannot gulp down without chewing. So sometimes you have to have vyavaharikta. Vyavaharikta means what is practically possible. Practically, if it is possible to chew it and then consume it, because you don't want yourself to choke. So vyavaharikta is, practicality is that you may crush a tulsi leaf which is large enough. While consuming tulsi leaf, you don't have to be afraid of anything. First and foremost, you don't have to be afraid. You're taking Sri Krishna Prasad. All right, and you're not taking in a mood of personal enjoyment. So there may be many who may try to tell you, don't chew upon it, don't do this, don't do that. I had many people giving me many weird theories about such, prasad and mahaprasad. You may not believe it. One devotee, he came to me and said, you should not take too much Jagannath Mahaprasad. So I said, why? So if you take too much Jagannath Mahaprasad in your body, it gets converted into waste and it is discarded as waste. So you should only take so much Jagannath Mahaprasad that it doesn't turn into bodily waste. So I said, all right, I'll note it down in my book of, things which have no Shastric support. So I'm writing a book on things which have no Shastric support. And this is one of them. So people have all sorts of, what do you call, hang-ups about, Mahaprasad. So when you are honoring Mahaprasad, honor confidently and know that we are not in the mood of enjoying Tulsi Devi, but we respect her as a servant. So that is what we should do. Thank you. Somebody is asking, can you post the mantra recited prior to plucking the Tulsi leaves? All right. If you want to know the mantra, which is prior to plucking the tulsi leaves, here it is. Tulasyamrita janmasi sada tvam Keshava Priya Keshavartham Shinomi Tvam Varada Bhava. This is the mantra. Tulasi, O Tulasi, Amrita Janma Asi. You are nectar born. Sada Tvam, you are always Keshava Priya, dear to Keshav. Keshavartham Chinomi Tvam. I am plucking you for Keshav only. Varada Bhava, give me a good benediction. Shobhane. Oh, beautiful one. Oh, auspicious one. Right.
Next, we have Ananta Vijay Prabhu.
Only in the class, you are explaining the two meanings of the verses.
Right.
One is direct meaning and one is indirect meaning.
Right.
So, Prabhuji, I want to know how is the commentator only the Goswamis which they have written the verses, they have only give these two meaning, or you only have taken these meanings by
No.
grammatic. How in original commentary how it is there, Prabhuji?
Sri Jiva Goswami has commented on Dan Keli Kaumudi. I showed a verse also from the commentary of Sri Jiva Goswami. When Sri Rupa Goswami was writing the book, Sri Jiva Goswami was fanning him. This I have said many times. He used to fan Sri Rupa Goswami.
Yes.
So the commentator gets it directly from the author. That's what it is.
Okay.
Many times,
both
many times the commentator uses his intellectual strength to get the dual meanings. But in this case, the commentator Sri Jiva Goswami was sitting right beside the author, and the author was telling the secrets. Right.
Both the meanings are taken by Jiva Goswami.
Of course.
Direct and yes. Thank you.
That is the beauty of poetry. That's the beauty of to have multiple meanings. Is the beauty of poetry. All right.
Prabhuji, can we get the commentaries of Obeisances, Prabhuji? In Sanskrit, do we have?
See, Prabhu, I think there are two devices, Prabhu, on your room which are echoing each other. Yeah. So I have the edition that I use for commentary of Sri Upadesha. I have a Bangla edition, which I use for typing out, and I typed out the commentary of Sri Radharaman Goswami and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I'll show you the Bangla edition that I use for typing out the three commentaries on Sri Upadeshamrita. I am sharing my screen with you, and this is the Bangla edition that I use. This is Sri Upadeshamritam. You can see here Sri Upadeshamritam, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad Virachita, Mayapur Sri Chaitanya Mat, Sridham Mayapur Nadia, Paschim Bengal. This is what is this. Mool Shlok Anuvad, Panga Bhashaye Prati Shabda Sah Anvay, Srila Radharaman Das Goswami Virachit, Upadesh Prakashika Tika, Srila Sachidanand Bhakti Vinod Thakur Krita Upadeshamrita Bhasha, Shri Piyush Varshini Vritti, Evam Prabhupada, अष्टोत्तर श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्री उपदेशामृत भाषा उ अनुवृत्ति सहित. This is the edition which I used. It has all the Sanskrit commentaries and the Bengali in original. So this is what I used, Prabhuji. I don't have any other source, and I like to read from this. I'm sorry, I'm not a native Bangla speaker. My Bengali is like a Maharashtrian speaking Bengali, but at least I can read the script. So if you want, I can send you this edition, or I can upload it in the group.
For anyone who's interested, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math also has this English translation of all the commentaries.
Yes. Yes. So you can also buy a particular edition which has the three commentaries translated by Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Right.
On Kindle, it's only $1.
Yes.
Next we have Jai Gauranga Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for wonderful class. Prabhuji, I just wanted to clarify that you mentioned that Gaudiya Vaishnava, the goal of Gaudiya Vaishnava is to unite Radha and Krishna. But we often say that Vipralamba Bhav is more glorified over the union, like we quote the Shikshastakam 8th verse, and also the Sad Goswami 8th verse speaks how 6 Goswamis are crying separation for Radha and Krishna. Can you please explain that?
There is no disharmony between these two. I have explained in the previous talk that separation is essential for union to become tasteful. Separation will happen automatically. It will happen automatically in Sri Krishna Lila. We don't have to ensure it. That is ensured by Yogamaya. We are enthusiastic about having them meet again. Union is more important for us. Separation will happen automatically by the arrangement of Yogamaya, and nobody will be able to prevent that. But our interest is in seeing them together. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to say that I want to perform my bhajan at Kurukshetra. I can. One time he said this, I want to perform my bhajan at Kurukshetra. So, what is the reason behind performing bhajan at Kurukshetra? The reason behind performing bhajan at Kurukshetra is not because the Bhagavad Gita was spoken there, but because the gopis and the Vrindavan Vasis, they saw Sri Krishna after more than 70 or 80 years in Kurukshetra. In that place, Srimati Radharani, she wanted to express her feelings towards Sri Krishna, but she could not do so because things were not the same. Sri Krishna was in the form of a king of Dwaraka. And there is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita which expresses that feeling of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Rupa Goswami composed that verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You understood my mind." So, Sri Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, this is the place where service to Sri Radha is most needed. And wherever service to Sri Radha is most needed, that is the place where I'll perform my bhajan. This is the place where she needs the maximum amount of assistance. And that is where I would like to be with her. So this is the mood of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. I hope that clarifies.
I'll just ask to unmute again if he has any response.
Yeah. So probably the means Vipralamba is glorified because in that rasa we get more opportunity to serve Srimati Radharani. Is that the reason?
Vipralamba is not a rasa. Vipralamba is one of the types of Madhurya rasa. Madhurya rasa is of two types, Sambhog and Vipralamba. So Vipralamba is not an independent rasa. Vipralamba is a facet of Madhurya rasa. So Vipralamba is glorified because it makes Sambhoga tasteful. It makes union tasteful. That is why it is glorified. Otherwise, our acharyas have no other reason to glorify it. This is the main reason why it is glorified is because it makes union more tasteful. Otherwise, our acharyas always want to see Sri Radha and Krishna united. That is the answer to your query.
Thank you, Prabhu.
On the altar, is there any day of the year when you separate Radha and Krishna?
No, Prabhu.
Why?
Because it's not considered good. Like we always want that Krishna and Radha should be always together.
Wow, you answered your own query. That's the answer to your question. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next we have Madhav Tripati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had another question regarding this, getting the dham, like how do we get to the dham? So, like you specified from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary that we first take birth as a particular Vrajvasi from a Vrajagopi on Bhauma Vrindavan. So is that always the case? Can't it like happen like for some devotees, they might directly go to Goloka Vrindavan, those who are going through Krama Mukti. So is that also possible that they directly go to Goloka Vrindavan and not take birth at Bhauma Vrindavan?
Who you are practicing a variety of bhakti. You are supposed to practice a variety of bhakti, which is known as Raganuga Bhakti. What is the meaning of Rag?
Attachment.
Deep and, in lack of a better term, passionate attachment is called as Rag. All right. So because there is no better term to describe it in my vocabulary, deep passionate attachment is called as Rag. This sort of attachment happens when you are in a blood relationship with somebody. How will you enter into a blood relationship with somebody?
By being in like close proximity and like being born together.
But does God take birth?
Yes and no.
Does Vishnu take birth?
No.
Vaikunthat Janito Vara Madhupuri. Because Mathura offers a chance for Krishna as well as us to take birth. Therefore, it is greater than Vaikuntha's. Right? When you are, the familiarity that you have with a blood relative cannot be had with a master. We are ourselves when we are with blood relatives. That is what Rag mainly is about. For lack of a better word, I call it a blood relation, but that's what it is. You're born in the same family. That is what that is what makes you most familiar with Bhagwan. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, in this context only, like even Gopakumar, I think he went directly through Krama Bhakti. He went to Goloka Vrindavan, did not have to take birth at Bhauma Vrindavan. I'm not sure. I haven't read Bhir Bhagavatamrita, but I've heard that he directly went to Golok Vrindavan. But he also entered into kind of a Ragatmika level. So, how did that happen then?
What was the last birth of Gopakumar? And where did he take birth?
In Vraja. But that was as a sadhaka.
He took birth as, did he change his body after meeting Sri Krishna?
Not sure, Prabhuji.
You have to read the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. What is his name in the spiritual world?
I'm not sure.
So then how can we figure out? Sarup is his name. What is his name?
Sarup.
Sarup, not Swarup. Sarup is his name. When he goes to the spiritual world, Krishna says Sarup is here. Right? He takes birth. His final birth is in Govardhan. His guru is Jayant. His guru is none other than Sri Krishna, who has come as his guru. His guru's name is Jayant. He attains perfection in Govardhan itself, and he is able to reach the higher stages of bhakti in Govardhan itself. But in this special case, by the power of his guru, he doesn't have to take birth in a Bhauma Vrindavan, because in his sadhaka deha itself, his guru gives him a mantra which allows him to go to the spiritual world in that very same body, because the final body which he has taken birth that is the body which is his eternal Swarupa. So he took birth as a Gopa, as a cowherd. His final birth was as a cowherd, not in Krishna Lila per se, but in Govardhan. All right. Then he joins Sri Krishna in the spiritual world. And then Sri Krishna says Are Sarup is here. And Sarup is basically he tells Sarupa that this is your father, this is your mother. Do you remember? So then Krishna bestows that knowledge into Sarupa. And then that connection is established. But this is because in a special case, Gopakumar's guru was Jayanta, Krishna himself. He was not a Jiva. But in other cases, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said, generally, people have to take birth through a Gopi's womb in Bhauma Vrindavan. When Krishna's pastimes are going on, that is what is going to happen. All right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, I have a potentially difficult question.
Yeah.
You gave these references about Sri Govardhan and the meaning of udara, pani, and the pastimes that happen there. And I didn't see those references when reading the commentaries of the acharyas. My doubt is, why didn't they say more?
I didn't this more. I think because, see, why didn't the acharyas say more? Because there is something called as a vritti. The acharyas have written vritti. Vritti is a gloss. You know, do you know the meaning of the term gloss?
Yeah, like shorthand.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here is to build upon the vritti, but within the strict framework of the six Goswamis, not going outside the framework of the six Goswamis. Because if we do the vritti, you will understand the basic meaning of the verse, and that is the intention of the acharyas, to make you understand the basic meaning. Then the acharyas are expecting that you read the other books and then also understand the detailed meanings. So when you refer to the other books, you will find the same acharyas commenting in detail. But the reason why I am bringing out those details in Upadeshamritam is because the two reasons. First and foremost, through this small book, we get in like a pin, in like a needle, out like a plow. That is one reason. All right. And second is, we get a look into the depth of our sampradaya, and devotees get to know that there are so many literatures. They become interested, and then they start, following the path shown by the Goswamis. So that is the reason why, I'm doing it on such a level of depth.
Thank you. It's a great answer, Prabhuji. And what is the meaning of vritti?
Gloss.
Glass. Okay.
Yeah. And another reason is, when you have to print something on a paper, at least previous acharyas did not have the liberty of having so much paper. So previously there was a lot to write, but very less paper. Today there is a lot of paper, but people don't write. So that's the difference. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Next we have Bishpadev Roy Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one more question, but the question is not so clear. So I have to depend on you only. So in the sequence of Krishna Lila that we have seen that on the sixth day, Krishna killed Putana. And in Gopala Champu, we see Vidhod, like in Wednesday, Krishna appeared.
Right.
When I was reading Putna Lila, I'm not sure it was Brihad Vaishnav Toshini or something like that. In there also something, a day was given, I think, for Putana Lila. So at that time I was finding some contradiction, because maybe I didn't know the appearance of Krishna. So did you find something like that, some apparent contradiction between the days?
No, I have not seen any such thing, because Vidoho Putre, that is mentioned in Gopal Champu. Krishna was born on a Wednesday, Budhvar, as it is called. Krishna was born on a Wednesday. And I love that detail, because, I love it because Sri Suri takes it on a different level. Why was Krishna born on a Wednesday? That verse is one of my favorite verses as to Krishna, one of Krishna's secrets as to why Krishna was born on a Wednesday. So, but if you come across the reference, and you can send it in the group, and I'll try to have a look at it. At least as of now, I don't remember seeing any apparent contradiction. And there should be no contradiction, because Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't mention the day on which Putana was, the week day on which Putana was killed. So obviously, all these days are derived by Anuman. Anuman means inference. If Krishna is born on a Wednesday, and you calculate 6 days from that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday is which var in Sanskrit?
Mangalvar.
That's Mangal. That's auspiciousness for Putna. Right?
And I
Okay.
have one more question.
Sure.
Not directly related, but yes. So you have shown the book of Upadeshamritam, which you were referring for giving the classes. So first of all, thank you for translating so much for helping us to understand it. And I want, as personal question, I want to ask, how do you prefer to read books? Like I I know that you have read a lot, tons of books. So have you all read in physically or most of them physically? So what is your preference and how do you decide? Should you buy? You have a physical copy or it's better in?
When I usually, my preference is, see, I'm okay with reading on a computer as well as on a physical book. When I read on a computer, I use what is known as night light. It makes your screen yellow so that it's easy on the eyes. There is a function in Windows which makes a warm glow appear on the screen so that it's easier for you to focus, so you can read for longer. When I see a good book, I usually try to buy 2 copies, one of which I scan and one of which is for my personal reading. So that is what I usually do. But usually sometimes I'm only able to find a scanned copy of something, so I'm able to read it online. I'm okay with reading on the computer also. So like this Upadeshamritam Bangla copy, I have only online. I don't have a physical copy of it. So whatever I have typed out by reading the Bangla from the scanned copy. So although I don't have the Bangla accent, I don't want to get that accent because it spoils your Sanskrit accent. So there are many terms in Bangla which sa and sha are interchanged.
It's
It
no
can,
different.
yeah, it's different.
Madhya is only not there.
Yes, so the Bengali pronunciation is very good. It's very sweet, but it's not very helpful when it comes to Sanskrit rigor. So my teacher used to say in my childhood that he had a verse, I don't remember it, but the essence of the verse was there is a Sanskrit teacher who says to his Bengali student, dear Bengali student, either you learn the proper pronunciation of the Sanskrit words or you find yourself another Saraswati to teach you. So, because some of the syllables, the pronunciations are the sa and sha, everything is sha. So like that it is, you know what I'm speaking of. The va and ba, everything is ba. You can't differentiate between, Vaibhava and Vaibhava. They call Vaibhava. So this is not liked by a Sanskrit student. The Sanskrit student doesn't like this. So therefore, I try to keep my pronunciation Sanskrit based. That is what it is. Right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks.
Prabhuji, would it be okay if I asked a question about the place of the Upadeshamrita in Gaudiya Vaishnava literature? I was specifically wondering, would you say is it more important in our lineage than the Shikshastakam?
No, because Sri Upadeshamritam has been given particular importance by the Acharyas of our Sampradaya. Srila Prabhupada specifically said that it is one of the most helpful book for newcomers. When I saw that, I was very much attracted to Upadeshamritam because for a newcomer, it can give you a very good head start into bhakti. It can also bring you till a point where you understand Raganuga Bhakti and you understand what is the final goal of life. From the sadhaka's point of view, Upadeshamritam is more important. But from a person who has entered into Raganuga Bhakti, he may find the Shikshashtakam to be more important to his practice of bhakti. It depends on who is the person, who is reading the book. So from a sadhaka's point of view, I definitely say that Upadeshamritam is certainly occupying a very important place in our literature, because it helps the sadhaka come to that point. Many of us who might have started from the first verse might not have known about what is Raga Nuga Bhakti, and by the time we came to the 8th verse, we understood, quite a lot of us understood what it is, and that actually that is the goal of life of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and how to attain it, and what are the qualifications and all. So all of this is through Upadeshamritam, and therefore for a sadhaka it has that prime importance. That is the answer to the query from me. Thank you.
Thank you. You answered my question, and you also answered another question I had, but I didn't ask, and that was about how Prabhupada says this is instructions for the neophyte devotee. So you also
Right.
answered that
That's
question without me even asking it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. When I was reading, you see, I teach computers to students. There's a very nice set of computer books. It is called Head First C++, Head First Java. It's a head first means you just dive directly into it as a newcomer, and you come out on the other end as an expert. So this is head first into Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Upadeshamritam is head first into Gaudiya Vaishnavism. All right, thank you, Prabhu.
Next, we have Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam. This is not specifically of this katha, but the term used as Sri Krishna Anandini. It is also used in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as a lakshan, as a quality of bhakti, that it is Sri Krishna Akarshani, that it attracts even Sri Krishna.
Right.
So I just have that question that is there anything about Bhakti Devi mentioned in the Shastra? Because we many times hear that Bhakti Devi term, but not more about her. What exactly?
Sri Jiva Goswami says that she is a vritti of the Swarup Shakti. What is the meaning of vritti?
How can I express in English?
That's what a translator should do. The translator should be
A
able.
function.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yes, function.
So she is a function of Bhakti Devi. When you say function, what does function imply?
Action or a
Wonderful. Function implies action. Hence, when Bhakti is defined in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhakti is defined as what?
action.
Wonderful. Kriya.
Okay. Kriya. Yes.
Bhakti is not simply a state of mind. Bhakti is a kriya. So Bhakti Dhatvartha, Jiva Goswami takes up the detail. Dhatvartha. Have you heard of the concept of Dhatvartha?
No, Prabhu.
All right. I'll explain to you in a very simple word, in simple terms. Take any verb, English verb. Give me an English verb.
Played or anything.
Play. All right. Every
Okay.
verb has two aspects. How many aspects?
Two.
Two. One is called vyapar. One is called phala. Vyapar means the activity aspect. Phala means the result aspect. All right. Now take the verb
Yes.
play. What is the vyapar in play? What are the activities in play?
Like playing anything, like action only, it is vyapar only, it is going on. Not the
Listen to me. Running, catching,
yes.
throwing. All right. This is all vyapar.
Such. Yes.
What is the phala? What is the result? The result is play. What is the result?
Play.
All right. Wonderful.
But it is identified more with vyapar.
All right. Okay. Now take another verb. Give me another verb.
Smile.
Smile. All right. Smile. What is the vyapar? All right. Open your eyes. So start expanding your lips in both directions.
Yes.
Open your teeth. This is all vyapar or the activities. What is the result? The result is smiling. What is the result?
Smiling.
Wonderful. Now, bhakti. Okay. Okay. Now, once again, now let's take another vyapar, cooking. All right. What is the another verb? Cooking. In cooking, what is the activities? Taking a pot, filling water, adding the vegetables, etc. This is, and what is the
Yes.
result? Cooked food.
A very nice, delicious.
Food. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when I say I am cooking, do you remember what comes to your mind? The vyapar aspect, the activity aspect, or the result aspect?
Vyapar, activity aspect.
Wonderful. So the main aspect of a verb is the activity, not the result. I hope you're able to understand.
Yes. Yes.
In a similar way, the main aspect of bhakti is the activity, not the result. That is what Sri Jiva Goswami explains in the commentary to Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Right? When I say dancing, what comes to your mind? The activity or the result of the activity?
Activity, vyapar.
When I say cooking, what comes to your mind? Vyapar or phala?
Vyapar.
When I say writing, what comes to your mind? Vyapar or phala?
Vyapar.
So what is the main aspect of a verb? Vyapar or phala?
Kriya. Vyapar.
So vyapar is the main aspect of any verb. Similarly, in bhakti, what is the main aspect? The result that you are going to get or the activities that you are going to perform?
The activity.
Therefore, bhakti is defined as an activity. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Bhakti is defined as an activity. Love is a verb and love is a noun. But more prominently, how is love expressed? As a noun or as a verb?
Verb.
That's what bhakti is. All right. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'll take one last question, and then if there's any more after that, I'll have to have Paramakaruna Prabhu take over as the host.
Okay.
If you're able, Prabhuji.
I think there's only one question, so
Okay.
you can.
Next we have Vishwadeep Roy Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So last question I have that can you please for us mention some what are the shastras which are directly helpful for bhakti? Like we know Vyakaran, we know Chanda Shastra, so we can read out all the verses in Chanda, and like there are many other shastras. So what are directly help us in bhakti? So can you mention the names?
Whatever is Vedic, whatever is directly connected to the Veda, that is bhakti upayogi. That is helpful for that can be helpful for your bhakti. It can also go against your bhakti. For example, Jyotish, astrology is one of the 6 limbs of Vedas. But if it becomes too much and bhakti becomes secondary, jnana karmadi anavritam, your bhakti becomes shrouded by astrology. So anything Vedic is useful as long as it remains subservient to the principle of bhakti. So any Vedic literature, as long as it is subservient to the principle of bhakti, right, it is helpful for you. And different types of disciplines will help you in different ways. Sri Jiva Goswami has said in his commentary to Anyabhilashita Shunyam that one type of knowledge is dangerous for bhakti. And do you remember what type of knowledge that is?
Brahma Nirvishesh.
Nirvishesha Brahmanusandhanam. To research into the impersonal Brahman is directly harmful for your bhakti. All other types of knowledge are useful. Give me any other type of Vedic knowledge, list any other type of Vedic knowledge, and I will tell you what is its use in bhakti. Tell me.
Nirukta.
Nirukta, Vedic dictionary, which tells you the derivation of various words. Using Nirukta, you will be able to understand the derivation of various words. When you are reading the commentaries of the various acharyas, you are reading those terms in the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will be able to have a deeper meaning of those very words, which will enhance your knowledge of Sri Krishna Lila. Right?
Kamshastra.
Huh?
Kamshastra.
Kamshastra is not directly, although not directly mentioned in Vedic literature, but Kamshastra is one of the Shastras which was referred to by those who were in the Grihastha ashram. Alright. So this Kamshastra basically helps one to regulate one's kama or one's desire for sex life, by which one becomes regulated, which is helpful in one's practice of bhakti. The aim of Kamshastra, ultimate aim of Kamshastra is to become regulated in one's sex life in the Grihastha ashram. So in that way, that is also helpful for your bhakti. All right. Any other Shastra? Vedic.
there are, but they will help bhakti only, I know for
That is
sure.
all right. So all Shastras can, but you should have the eligibility. Just because I said Kam Shastra doesn't mean that people will go and open it up. A person should have the eligibility and the maturity to understand a particular Shastra. Then they are Adhikari for it. One should know if one is Adhikari or not for a particular Shastra. One is eligible or not. So that is it. All right. Thank you.
How about the hymns in the Vedas for various demigods used during sacrifice?
There is a very nice book called as Mantra Ramayana and Mantra Bhagavat. There was a very nice commentator called Neelkant Chaturdhar. He was born in the same state of Maharashtra where I stay. He wrote two books, Mantra Bhagavat and Mantra Ramayana. In Mantra Bhagavat, he has taken various hymns from the Rig Veda and shown 10th canto Lila within the hymns of the Rig Veda. So I remember he had shown Govardhan Lila in some of the hymns of the Rig Veda. And then he has done Mantra Ramayana. Some other hymns he has taken and he has shown Ramayana Lila. So Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur were so impressed by Neelkant Chaturdhar's presentation that they quoted him in their commentary to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here is Srila Prabhupada quoting Sri Neelkant Chaturdhar. Most people don't know his surname. His surname is Chaturdhar. Chatur means four, Dhar means holder, the holder of the four Vedas. Neelkant Chaturdhar. Sri Neelkant confirms the existence of Goloka Vrindavan Dham by quoting Rig Ved 1:154:6. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 23.116 purport. Prabhupada is quoting Neelkant Chaturdhar. This is a direct hymn from the Rig Veda, and this is according to Neelkant Chaturdhar's interpretation. We wish to go to your Radha and Krishna's beautiful houses, about which cows with large excellent horns are wandering, yet distinctly shining on this earth is that supreme abode of yours that showers joy and all. O Urukaya Krishna, who is much praised. So this is the interpretation of Neelkant Chaturdhar. Originally the verse was interpreted in a ritualistic manner, but this is the interpretation given by Neelkant Chaturdhar to glorify Sri Krishna. Therefore, there is a verse which was quoted by Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavante Cha Madhye Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. In the Vedic literature, including Ramayana, Puranas, Mahabharata, in the very beginning, in the end, as well as in the middle, only Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is explained. This is the answer to your query, Prabhuji. Right.
Mind blowing, Prabhu. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much. Really, really grateful for your time, both in preparing for these classes and presenting them and asking and answering so many questions during the class and after the class. It's really amazing just how much you're giving to us, Prabhuji. I feel like I've done nothing to serve you properly, just to reciprocate with how much you've given us. But at least I just want to give you my heartfelt thank you for these wonderful classes. And
you have
Devi and I will invite all of the devotees to unmute and give a big thank you to Hari Parshad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu. Hare Hare
Have a
Bol.
wonderful class.
Hare Krishna.
Srila
Thank
Rupa
you.
Goswami Prabhupada ki jai.
Pasha
Shrimad Hare
Prabhuji
Varsha
ki
Prabhupada
jai.
ki
Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta
Thank you,
Saraswati
Prabhuji.
Thakur
Hare
Goswami Maharaj
Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
By the way, happy
to everyone.
and
Happy
thank
New
you.
Happy New
Thank
Year
you.
to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Wish
Hare
you a very
Krishna.
happy new year, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right, unless we have something from Parama Karuna Prabhu, then I'll log off
Hare
now.
Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay. Dandavats everyone. I'm going to log off now. Take care. Thanks again.